My name is Dylan CineMasai Green, and welcome to the Real Notes podcast. I speak with rappers, producers, journalists, and other hip-hop adjacent figures about their relationship with movies, and, if at all, film inspires their craft. My guest this week is New York via Virginia graphic designer, creative director at Coral Studios, and founder of Made in the URL and African-American artist, Chris Chance. We spoke about Backrooms, the legacy of Space Jam, A Bronx Tale, Inception, Paprika, fusing the worlds of hip-hop and fashion, working with Anthony Edwards, the pros and cons of the streaming age, and the creative process behind his work at Coral Studios, Made in the URL, and African-American artist. Come fuck with it. Tell me that Skype story again, because I had to delete the other shit.
Oh, no, it's all good. So back in the day, so I have a podcast called Woody Versace I've been doing for like 10 or so years with me and my co-host Woody Traore. In our humble beginnings first off, our podcast was virtual like in 2016. So we didn't really have the facilities. So we got on Skype and we would record our Skype calls. And that was how we would have a podcast. And I think, looking back at it, it was so cool because like people could come in and out the Skype call. Like it was like we was in a recording studio type shit.
Yeah, no, that shit was hella casual. No. Like it could just be like 5, 6, 7 people just in there, just like cycling in and it was damn near like a Xbox Live game chat. Like in like the OG Xbox days.
And I think that's why we liked it so much because it translated perfectly. Like just the vibe of like, okay, like, oh, the party's open, you join in, the Madeintheurl.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, no, like that was I don't know, just like that specific vibe of just like being able to be with your people no matter where you were, and like how like, I guess, like, for lack of a better word, like wide-eyed and bushy-tailed we all were about the possibilities of the internet. And it's just like, oh yeah, we can't meet at the crib, like, cool, log on to like Halo 2 and we'll run it up at like whatever time or no, whatever game it was. It could have been anything, but like to go from that to just like we were saying off camera, just having like the crazy spaceship setup, like we're about to fucking take off into the unknown. It's
the first time I used that, it's so funny I have it, but I don't know the name of it. It's the mixer that everybody has with the buttons on it.
Oh,
the soap.
Sorry, what?
I forgot. It got the touchscreen on it. I can't believe I'm not thinking of it right now.
Is it? I think it's called like a Roadcaster.
Yes, the Roadcaster. The Roadcaster.
Yeah, because I would go. I used to do a couple. Like I do some of these live at Pirate Studios, and they got a Roadcaster at Pirate Studios. I never owned one myself because they're kind of expensive, and you can't travel with that shit. It's like about as heavy as a PlayStation. I'm not.
No, it's and it has like, unless you got that case.
Yeah.
To cover up top of it, it got a lot of buttons I could easily like knock off or something, like in the transit. Like, that shit sit at the crib. It sit at the crib.
Yeah, nah. Like if I was to bring anything, I got like an SP 404 over there, and I just bring that.
Oh,
like,
perfect.
Like that's super easy to travel with, and I know you can like freak it and do fun, weird shit with it, like recording podcast stuff. I think you can like add the effects to your, but I'm not there yet. This is literally
it's OD. It's OD.
So
it's OD. And we don't even be using the fucking buttons because the way our setup is, we so far out of reach that I can't just reach and grab that flex bomb real quick. So it's just like it's there.
Because it's either got to be a flex bomb or it's got to be something like so tailored to you that like you play it and people associate it with you. Because otherwise, it's just like, I don't know. Like that was always one of my favorite things about terrestrial radio. Every single jockey on the radio had their own sound effect that it's like you heard that and it's like that's the show, and like Flex has the bombs. Fucking he's the only example I could think of. But like that was just like at least in like the 2000s when like everybody was still like heavy on the radio, like most of the people who were doing like talk shows or like current event shit, like it would just be like I wish I could remember other examples. It's been that long.
I know exactly what you mean though. I grew up in south of Virginia, like southwest Virginia, And our hip hop station was 102 Jams from Greensboro, North Carolina.
Oh wow.
There, oh my God, their programming was the 5 o'clock remix. Yo, it's like the programming was. But you're right though. There was like a lot of individuality. And I think that maybe sometimes we see it through like production tags,
Oh, for
but
sure.
yeah, like that. I feel like maybe it's like like all of the essence of that has gone into production tags, but still like last time I went to Florida, I turned the radio on. Radio was live. It's still cracking. We just be on that Bluetooth. That's what it be.
Nah, word to that. And like like you go to certain areas. I mean, like radio's still popping everywhere to a certain extent, but like it's places like it's either like New York. Like New York radio is obviously still a pretty big deal, but like you gotta go to like Florida. You gotta go to like Virginia. Like I mean, like my big sister lives in Virginia. She lives in Chesterfield, so like I go down there sometimes. Like radio's still big down there. Like you go to like you go like a little further out west. You go to like Texas and places like that, and like go out to like Arkansas and Kansas. Like they, like radio's still big out there. You see, I just remember two. See, now that we're talking about it, I remember two other like you got Flex Bombs. You got the little cowbell shit that Big Boy. They play on that. DJ Drama's fucking bull.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like his whole thing when he was like hosting on the radio and he would drop his bombs and gunshots, like that was like that's how you knew you were listening to Big Boy, DJ Drama, or fucking
Static Selector had a crazy one too. Static Selector, he had like this little like pew, 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 pew,
on his show off radio shit, right?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I haven't listened to anything Static Selector related in a pretty long time. I couldn't.
Yeah, for real.
It's been a minute. It's good. Been a good. But damn, this is as good a place to start as any. What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to Real Notes. Good fucking Friday energy already. Like by the time y'all hear this, I'll have already seen it. But this is me pre Backrooms. So like this is like I'm probably about to be a whole new person. I'm playing, but
and what's crazy though?
What?
This be post Backrooms. I saw that motherfucker last night.
Oh wow! Okay, damn man. See, I was out and about doing shit, and I ran into 3 people who saw it, and they didn't like it, which made me kind of sad. But I'm literally like my screening's in 4 hours. I'm going to see it like as soon as we're done here, damn near. So, I mean, this isn't going to take us 4 hours. But my name's David Green. CineMasai, got a lot of names, do a lot of shit outside, inside, all sides, and like once again, we only talk to movers and shakers on Real Notes, and I'm with somebody else who's also outside, inside, all sides, and like this is I mean, like obviously you're a music person to a certain extent, but you're all over the place just in terms of like the things you do and the things you're interested in. I wrote all this down and I thought I had it down pat, but like founder of madeintheurl.com, creative director at Coral Studios, you're a graphic designer, creative consultant, you're a fashion head, African-American artist shit. You tell stories with media and other people's media and your media, hip hop kid of the world, Virginia's finest, Chris Chance.
What's up, y'all?
The African-American artist himself. He's here.
Hey.
Bro. I mean, like, first off, thank you for coming. It means a lot.
I appreciate that so much.
Nah, man, I appreciate you. Yeah, no, you hit me last week just on some like, hey, love the show, want to come on, and like I'm always that never doesn't feel great. So just like, thank you for taking the time to want to come on here and talk. Like I'm such a fan of what you do and the African American artist shit, like I said, and I don't know, just like you're like a real archivist and somebody who like knows their shit in history of just like across all these verticals we all know and love, and like you really get the relationships between all of them, which is what Real Notes is all about. So just like, thank you,
Yo, I appreciate you so much. I'm happy to be here. I've been fucking with the podcast. I'm fucking with everything that you do too, man, for a big respect. So I have been watching. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm about to shoot my shot because I want to come over here and talk this damn film shit, man, with my dog. So, hell yeah.
Yeah,
appreciate
bro.
you so much, bro, for real.
Always, yeah, no, I'm happy. Yeah, no, because like we did this, we got it booked like damn near immediately after you reached out. So I'm happy. I'm happy we could do it. So I mean, first question I ask everybody: what was the last movie or TV show you? I mean, I know what it is, but talk to me about Backrooms? Talk to me.
Okay, I'm a big like real big like no spoiler. Like I usually like going into shit blind. And even with Backrooms, I knew obviously the phenomenon. I knew of the videos that Kane was making, but like I didn't know every single thing about the Backrooms in terms of the lore. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna save it for the movie. I'm gonna try to go into this motherfucker blind. I think that in a time period where I saw recently somebody tweeted about the creator of Powerpuff Girls and how he was like 20.
Cracking, yeah.
And it's like I think that as film nerds, we always hear about the people geeking out about the 70s about like they were just give a kid fucking $4 million to go make a movie, and that's how we have all these classics. It's like, I know I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard nothing but high praise for Obsession.
I thought Obsession was great. Yeah.
I'm gonna go see it soon. I gotta go check it out. Probably gonna go see it Sunday. Shout out to my A-listers out here, man. We up in that theater every week, baby.
You already, man. Yeah. Nation, strong.
But I think just all around, like I'm like, wow, like, yo, this kid is really talented. It's a beautiful like film, like cinematography wise, sound design. I mean, like it's also funny. It's like a really, really interesting. I don't know. I feel like if I've never knew what the Backrooms were, like this would probably be even crazier to me. I'd be like, yo, what? Because I think that it's just one of the most interesting premises and like things to build out lore for. I don't know how I would feel about this being franchised. Obviously, it has the ultimate potential to be something that has multiple different films about it and this and the third. Yeah. And whatever Kane wants to do going forward, I respect it and I support it. And I think that's what I'll say about it. Like, I left the film like, wow, this kid is going places. It's crazy. Actors, actresses, all phenomenal. Loved it.
Damn. Yeah, I'm amped, like, because I talked to, so while I was in the city last night, I was going back to Penn to come back to Jersey, and I just so happened to run into a homie and two of his friends, and they had literally just come out the AMC on 34th Street to just seen it, and they were like, we just saw Backrooms, and I was like, oh shit, how was it? And they looked at me like, no, and I was like, really? Ugh. And then right after that, horror guys? Well, I honestly don't know. It kind of seems like they are, but like we didn't get to talk about it like super long enough for me to be able to be like, these are horror fans in like that specific respect. Yeah. But
no, I was only asking because I feel like if you go into it like this is like a horror film, you know, like, but
it's a specific type of thing for sure. Yeah,
it's a specific type of thing, man. Yeah, that's where I went though, 34th Street. Shout out to 34th Street AMC. We got the Dolby viewing. You know what I'm saying? That Star Wars wasn't doing enough. They had to open the theaters up, put that Backrooms in the Dolby. I'm just fucking with that.
My screening. I'm going to a spot in Jersey that also has the Dolby screen. Yeah, I'm all souped up. I actually like the only spots that were left that weren't handicap spots were like a couple isolated spots within like the 4 or 5 rows back from the screen. So like I got it because like me and my lady were talking about it. She's on Long Island, so she's gonna go see it tonight, and then I'm gonna see it in Jersey. And like Desiree was just like, oh shit, like all the showings are damn near sold out.
It's gone.
Yeah, no, this is the one, like, and like the crazy thing, the thing that made me hype, like the movie cost $10 million to make, and it made its entire production budget back in the day. Like I think it was like 10.4 or something, like we're like there. This is like, obviously there's other like, there's like marketing costs and shit to recoup, but like they're going to be fine. Like the movie's probably going to make 100 mil. Like they did not spend $100 million on this movie in any respect. So
because they said it's going to get like 40 this weekend.
Yeah. Maybe even 50. They said at least 40,
Yeah. So that's, and I think that's what I'm just excited about, like it's it's just a big win for it's a big win for film. We don't need
Yeah.
to go. We don't need it to be as crazy. And I think also too, one thing that was really interesting is that like, not even to spoil anything, but there's a like there's Blender and then live action, but the way it's used is so seamless to the point that you can't really notice it. And as somebody that be working on projects, stressing my producers out with my ideas, it was very, very interesting to see somebody do this virtually and it still feel like it's not like, like when there's a fucking one CGI, scene, like, ugh, like, like it didn't feel like that. It didn't feel like that.
That's
So
dope.
yeah. Shout out Backrooms.
Yeah, yeah, like I'd obviously have more shit to say about it if I could, but yeah, I'll know in 3 hours or four, or it's at 8. Y'all know in about 4 hours. But what was the last thing I saw? The last thing I saw yesterday, I saw Tuner. I don't know if you heard about Tuner.
I was looking at that poster when I was leaving the theater last night.
Like if you like, the only place I know in the city that's showing it, I saw it at the Lincoln Square AMC. Go find that shit. Go find Tuner. For people who don't know, Tuner's a movie about a piano tuner who he has like real sensitive hearing to the point where it's a specific medical condition where his body can't handle loud noises. Like anything loud is like a car going by or like an airplane flying, like it's gonna fuck him up. So he has to wear hearing aids and like suppressors and headphones everywhere he goes because his hearing is so sensitive. But he also but one day he realizes he could use that hearing to like crack safes. So he starts working with the mob to crack safes and like or not the mob, but like they're like they run a security company that like takes care of people's houses, and then while their rich owners are gone, they break into their safes. And like he starts working with them to break into their safes and steal like like a little piece of jewelry here, some bullshit there. Like they're very specific about like, we only steal these types of things in this type of way, like just stuff that people won't notice when they go and look in the safe. So the movie's just about him doing that with the security company and being a piano tuner, and he gets a girlfriend and like she's a piano player. It's I don't know. It was like every kind of movie that I like rolled into one. It was a thriller, it was a romantic comedy, it was a drama, heavy jazz influence, like tons of jazz all over the soundtrack because like the tuner and his OG are like huge jazz fans. So it's all just like Herbie Hancock. And like one of the things, it's crazy, I saw the movie the day I did because in the beginning there's like he has a whole stack of like Sonny Rollins tapes. And Sonny Rollins just passed away. So I saw that and I was like, wow, like it really is. Like I saw the movie at the perfect time. But I loved it. Like one of the best things I've seen this year. Like I knew I was gonna like it, but like I walked out. me and my lady, we saw Passenger last weekend.
That's a scary movie, right?
Yeah, we hated it. It was trash. And you're like, we're both really big horror people. Like, I mean, like we'll see anything. It was trash. It was garbage. Like I'm like mad I saw it. And Tuner was so good. It was so stupid good. I was like retroactively annoyed that we didn't go see that instead. Like that's how good Tuner was. I was like, we could, but it is what it is. Like I'm not mad about it anymore. It was just like I left the theater hot. Like I was like legit like shit. Like we could. Tuner is great. Go find it. Like if you get a chance. You and everybody.
All right, bet. Nah, I'm gonna definitely go see. I think they. While you was talking about it, I was looking up the times on AMC. So yeah, we're gonna have to go check out Tuner. We're gonna have to check out Tuner.
That's just crazy. But I wanna dig into I want to do some archival work with you. So Let's run this all the way back to the beginning. What's the first movie experience you can remember having, Chris? It could be at the theater, it could be at your cousin's house. Just like the first thing that comes to mind for you.
Damn, I'm trying to think because I feel like there's like four movies I feel like were the first movie I saw. Or like I think the movie I think I associated with the most of my childhood was Space Jam.
Classic.
Space Jam, Michael Jordan to the Max, the IMAX Michael Jordan movie.
Oh wow.
My mama had me that on DVD. A Bronx Tale was the first movie I watched that I knew I was watching a movie. Like that, like I was not even that I knew I was watching a movie, that I was watching something that like I was like, whoa, this is really good. It's still my favorite movie. Like that is like the first movie I was like, holy shit, I love film. Like, because it was so different. It was also the first R-rated movie my mom ever let me watch. She's like, oh, you can watch this. You can watch this. And then I think like you throw in, there was this one McDonald's. You remember when McDonald's had the VHSs?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
The Ronald McDonald birthday party. That shit. That may be the first one that nigga really remember. And then like, and then I think in terms of like, oh yeah, and then in theater, Shrek 2.
Yeah.
Maybe. I think it was Shrek 2, because Shrek 1 came out, I was like, little, but that and Revenge of the Sith, those were like the first ones I remember like going into the theater, leaving a different person, you know, like.
Yeah.
I think that's it, yeah. That's it. If I had to say one though, it's Space Jam. Space Jam was like I feel like sometimes my mama would just throw that on and then like go handle shit in the house. Like, you know, like that was my babysitter for a little bit.
Cool. Well, okay. So I mean, like Space Jam was my first favorite movie ever. Like in my head, it's still one of my favorite movies. But that was the first movie that I was like, this is my favorite movie. Not even in terms of like, I don't even know that it like jumps. I don't even know that it kickstarted my love for film, but I just loved, you know, like how could you not, you know, like Looney Tunes and Michael Jordan, you know, like the you know, and of course around the time they had like the Hair Jordan ad campaign, like that's where the whole idea even came from. So it was just like the, you know, like little black kid shit, like Looney Tunes and basketball, like easy, you know.
And I think that's so funny, like. Well, so they recently put it back out. It was like 30th anniversary. So they had it in theaters. I went to go see it in Dolby. Oh, fucking ridiculous!
I'm so mad I missed that shit. I
was like, oh my god, it looks so good. I left that movie again realizing that it's the greatest basketball commercial of all time.
Oh, easy.
Somebody that is chasing after making a new Space Jam, you know, like. I was just watching that shit like, oh, that's what it is. This movie sold me on my life. It sold me on everything that I ended up becoming, whether it be basketball, sneakers, hip hop music, cartoons. It felt like it was just everything got sold to me. I was like, oh, this is, dare I say, the greatest African American art. Like that's like that's one of the crown jewels, I think, of just the perfect amalgamation. Like, I when the Basketball Jones scene came back on, like that part of the movie is the most memorable to me, when they're going through all of the problems, like, you know, where they're at the shrink's office.
Yeah.
You know, Charles Barkley tries to go play with the girls, like, oh, just everything. Phenomenal movie. For real.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Like and it's funny. I've been meaning to rewatch it since I didn't get to go catch it in the theater. But yeah, I mean, like between all of that, the soundtrack, just like, I don't know, like Lola Bunny being introduced in the movie, and like the fact that, you know, like it took them years to figure out how to like reapply her to stuff. I think they had her in like Baby Looney Tunes. And then they did like the Looney Tunes show where they're like all roommates living in houses, and it was just like Friends but with the Looney Tunes, which like I love that show. And then they like gave her a personality and a backstory. Kristen Wiig voiced her. Like I mean, like I loved that show. And like, and then, you know, like, and then the new one came out, and it didn't look good, but I was like, it's Space Jam, I'm gonna go watch Space Jam. And like, I remember like a critic I really love and respect was talking about how it's not necessarily like a better experience, but it's like a better movie just in terms of like the structure and the narrative. And I'm like, I don't know that it is. Like everything about that movie kind of felt weaker to me. Like like you could tell WB was just looking for an excuse to be able to do like the
multiverse.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was all just the multiverse shit, and like they wanted to do that, and then it just so happened to be like, oh yeah, we can make it a Space Jam movie. Like it could have been anything. And
yeah,
it felt a lot less special to me because of that. And like,
yo, I watched it one time. Hey, my little brother know in Fortnite, that's my skin, Space Jam Braun. He know Big Bro in the lobby when Space Jam Braun doing the Savage Dance. That movie, I feel like you kind of really gotta be a Braun fan. Like this, like you gotta be like, you really gotta fuck with Braun to like that movie. Because I feel like if I was a kid, maybe I feel like different. I will say that whole movie was worth it, in my opinion, simply for the Matrix scene. When that nigga Braun pulled up Blicky, I was like, oh my God. They almost, I think that the execution, I mean, it wasn't in theaters. It was during the quarantine.
No, it was on.
That was supposed to be I think the most interesting part of the film was when the full battle was going down and you really saw all of the Warner Brothers properties and you see the niggas from like Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
That's I feel like there needed to be like more of them going through the franchises and like if they would have did that, yeah, maybe a little bit more. Also too, it was just such like a like LeBron, like, you know, Spring Hill went through and double checked that script. He said, yep. Make Braun look good here. Yeah. Hey, that's my dog, though, bro. Hey, Space Jam 2 it tried. They did what they had to do. You know, it ain't gonna be number one, but it's damn sure gonna be number two.
Oh, man. And also the fucked up thing about it, like, if I was LeBron's kid and they casted somebody who wasn't me as his son. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Like, nigga, the fuck? Nigga, there's only one product.
What are you doing? Like, it's like that was so distracting to me. Like, as as somebody. Sorry, what?
They cast it like a kid. Like, he don't even look like he LeBron's son. He's just a black kid.
It was crazy, yo. And you're like, as somebody who likes, as somebody like, I like LeBron. You know, like, he's not my favorite player, but I like LeBron. You know, he's cool. I don't have any problem. I know people who got like problems with LeBron. I'm not one of those people. I like LeBron. I just like it was cool. You know, like, of course, like, I feel like just we generally have more of a connection to Michael Jordan because that's who was the big guy when we were kids. You know, and like, you're always gonna have like, you know, like, I'm always gonna have reverence for Jordan and Allen Iverson and Vince Carter. You know, like, all the these were like my totems in my basketball watching prime. But like, and it's funny because like, I was in high school when LeBron first started to like go big when he was on the Cavs. So, you know, like, I still had that moment, but I was definitely kind of on the way out and forming other interests and just into other shit more than I was into basketball at that time.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, I like LeBron. I appreciate what he does, how he does it, but I'm kind of like right outside the full, like, LeBron's my dude type shit. So
no, 100%. I mean, like, bro, it's so funny now too, because like, I finally got a new guy. Like, Ant. Before this,
yeah,
I was saying, like, before this, like, bro, I was terrified. I'm like, bro, these are the new niggas after Braun? None of these niggas even American. Like, bro,
oh man,
like, it went, but also at the same time too, like, yeah, like, I was a grown ass man when Ant went into the league. Like, you know, like, I can't have the same like, my first jersey I remember having was a Cavs jersey. I had the rookie year. that was just like, even like getting to middle school forever, you know, with Drake and all this other shit. Like LeBron is too intertwined into like. I know we talking about films, but I want to talk about one of my favorite films of all time, Game 7.
Oh, please, come on, let's go.
Yo, they just need to have that on Netflix. Like, no ads, no nothing. Just started game straight to finish. Like, cry my eyes out. Okay, that's enough of my Braun Glazing.
I mean, I want to come back to that, but I do want to touch on, like, the next question I usually ask is the capital M movie, the one that kind of connected with you emotionally, artistically, or spiritually. And you mentioned The Bronx Tale, and you said like that was the first time you were like, this is a, like, you jumped right into the question. So like, talk to me about A Bronx Tale.
A Bronx Tale is, for you all that don't know, Robert De Niro's directional debut. It's about a story of a young kid named Calogero who grows up with a very hardworking father and is split between the temptations of the street life and walking the straight and narrow. There's also an interracial love story baked into this that reflects what Robert De Niro actually has probably gone through in real life. All-star cast. Phenomenal acting on everybody's part. Shout out to Sonny. You know, he had 5 fingers, he only used 3.
Yeah, Chaz Palminteri. Shout out to him. He's a legend.
Yo, like this movie, like my mom, I'm from the Bronx. I grew up in Co-op City until I moved to Virginia and became a countryman. So my mom, she was just, she loved Italian shit. Like she loved fucking old mob movies, and she loved anything that was in the realm of crime or investigation. She loved watching Columbo, all this other shit. And yeah, that was just one of her favorite movies. I remember I used to just love sitting with my mom and like watching movies. Have you seen the new Michael Jackson movie?
I actually haven't yet.
There's scenes of Michael and his mom watching movies together. I was like, oh, that was me. But yeah, like I just remember watching it. I was like, whoa. I had to started. This was also around the time that like I started like really understanding things. Like my mom, I used to talk a lot, and I had a smart mouth growing up. So anytime I would get in trouble, my mom would be like, you know what, since you love to talk so much shit, you gonna sit on my bed and not do nothing. You can't play no games. You just gotta watch whatever I'm watching. And she would watch Seinfeld. And that was torture for me. And then I started paying attention. So it got to the point where like my mama had to come up with a new punishment because she just let me sit in the crib, watch Seinfeld with her. We talk about the soup Nazi and shit. Like, So a lot of my taste came from watching the things my mom was watching. And yeah, Bronx Tale was just I don't know. There's something about that movie. The soundtrack, cinematography was phenomenal, and also just like the monologues were all very, very important. Like, you know, nothing is worse than wasted potential or wasted talent. Yeah, it spoke to me so much as a kid. The dad reminds me of my dad. Yeah, I don't know. That was like the first one I was like, okay, like crazy. And I think probably the second one that made it nigga like once I was like middle school, this and the third, like it was probably Inception. When Inception came out, Christopher Nolan is my favorite director.
Yeah.
We gonna get into that later why that is the case. There's a lot of directors I love, but Christopher Nolan ran my childhood. When I got a PlayStation, my mama calling me right now. Hold on. Let me tell her I'm on a podcast.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Okay. Wait, where's my phone? Oh, there it is. Wait a second. Hey, Mama, I'm on a podcast right now, and I'm talking about how you influenced my film taste.
Okay, look. You want to go on a family cruise with us next May?
Okay, yes. All right, I'm going to call you back. Okay, bye-bye. Love you. Sorry. You know, she knew, she heard we were talking about movies. She was just like,
her ears were burning. Yeah.
Yeah, Inception. You know, when I got a PlayStation, no, I think it was when we got like the first Blu-ray player that we ever got, or it was a TV. You know, when you would get like a TV and they would give you a rebate, and you could like get free Blu-rays and shit. So I got American Psycho, I got Inception. And I'd probably say before Inception, really The Dark Knight. But Inception was the first movie I had like that I was like obsessed with everything. I was watching all of the special features. I was learning about lucid dreaming. Then I started scaring myself too much about lucid dreaming because I was scared of sleep paralysis. And then
man.
It really set me down like a rabbit hole. And that was like the first time like I felt like that, and I had an internet connection. So that's when just the hyperfixating and just deep diving started. So yeah, I probably give it an Inception.
My fault. Sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to shout out the Real Notes Patreon one time. For as little as $5 a month, you get exclusive goodies like video of every interview, 2-day early access to every interview, an invite to the Real Notes Discord server, exclusive access to the Real Talk Movie Night archive, and early pre-sale links for all live events. If you want to give a little more, you get other exclusives like retro 60-second movie reviews and monthly 90-minute workshops with me, where we can discuss whatever creative questions or projects you might have going on. Head over to patreon.com/realnotes. That's REELNOTES to join right now. I repeat, all videos will only be available on the Patreon. Thanks for listening. Shout out to my patrons. Now let's get back to talking.
I remember when I first saw it and was blown away by just like all the ideas and how gorgeous it looked, and like the chemistry of the cast was always something that I came back to, and like of course like the ending with the fucking top, and like does the top fall, you know, like but then it was either right before or right after I saw. You ever see Paprika before?
Yeah. You know what's funny? I finally watched it for the first time this year because for a long time I was like, man, these niggas hating. Nah, they won't hate. These won't hate.
I'm bro. Like that's like that might like from the time I first watched it, I was like, oh, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. And then like I was in school and I wound up writing an essay about dream logic in movies, and I used Inception and Paprika in there, and I still and like, to be honest, I haven't seen Inception in maybe 15 years. I think I saw it the one time it came out.
Yeah.
So like I need to go back and rewatch it just as like I'm sure it's still gonna be super dope. But like Paprika is like, that's a movie I've seen that movie probably about 5 or 6 times. I watched it, I think, as recently as last year. Oh, yeah, again, because I saw it. They brought it back to theaters last year, and I caught it in theaters.
You lucky.
That was like, I left that feeling like that. This is what it's all about, magic of the movies. Like that, that's like a... And, of course, that movie is so much about the art of movie magic, you know? Like, of course, like the detective... Like he has all the dreams and he's in the movie theater. Like, you know, it's like that. Like that's such a movie about movies that it's kind of cheap to call it like your favorite. Like that's one of my favorite movies. I love that movie to this day. You know, I love the visuals of it. I love the way they managed to like intertwine dream logic into the real world and ask all these philosophical questions, but just like keep the movie well paced and weird. It's just like.
Dude, the fucking song, the song that plays during the parade, that shit is insane.
Yeah.
I will say, I looked at my Letterboxd top 4 to make sure I didn't forget any of the movies. And I forgot one that is, in my opinion, probably the most important of all of them.
Tell me.
ATL.
Oh, man. Yo.
I am fighting. I'm going to try to figure out some way, somehow for that Criterion 4K special edition of that to come out. I think it's genuinely I don't know, if I'm not mistaken, I think that it wasn't Benny Boom, or who was it? Who directed that?
It was a music video director, and I'm thinking about this because, well, I can tell you right now, Chris Robinson. Yeah, because I do movie nights, and I just screened one of these, like I just screened ATL for that back in February with my man Lord Jamante Ogban from North Carolina.
Shout
out to Ja. But so ATL's been on my mind because like we just screened that. I'm with you, bro. Like if Tip, you're listening, Chris Robinson, you're listening.
Hey,
give us the ATL criterion. We need it.
Hey, Tip. I ain't your kid. I'm not your child. That's why you calling me your son. Oh, that's the best movie ever. I swear to God. It's just so much. And I think that being a hip hop nerd too.
Yeah.
You know, like people love talking about like 06 D Wade is like one of the greatest individual seasons. Nigga, 06 Tip.
Yeah.
06 T.I. was, you had King.
Yep.
Fucked up the whole world with King.
Oh my God,
then
that
you
album
drop ATL on niggas. Like, I ain't gonna lie, T.I. was like God when I was a kid. Like when that movie came out, we had the bootleg of it. And I just remember that summer we watched it over and you got the Temptations movie, you watched that a bunch of times. You got that like Madea, you got the Madea tapes and shit, but ATL, like there's so many shots from that movie that I've used for references when making scripts or like even when it comes to the lighting and things that we do in like Anthony Edwards and all that, like absolutely those I don't know what fucking lens they were using, that extremely wide lens that like it felt like the same person that did the cinematography for that did the cinematography for the Throw Them D's video by Rich Boy.
Yeah,
this crazy wide angle, just like, phenomenal film.
Yeah, it's I don't know, man. Just like I'm kind of a sucker for a coming of age movie like that, and like like the kids' chemistries are all great. Big Boy in the movie, he just runs off with the whole shit. Every scene Big Boy's in is just like the best scene ever. It's like
that was so disrespectful.
So disrespectful. Yeah, here you go. He's right in his face. and you're like right beforehand when he pulls up on Son, he does the fake gun. So he goes bam. And he just fucking spills his milk. Like just. So good, man. Like it's like truly, like he's like a little bit scary, a little bit funny. He's wearing like the oversized polos,
but he's clearly an intellectual, and that's the scariest part about his character is that like he's very well put together, even though he's chaotic. Like, I put 3 holes in your head like a bowling ball. Man, I'll never forget them lines. But yeah, I think that's really where it starts. That's where it starts.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, and then even to bring it into like the T.I.-ness of it all, like, man, yeah. Like, I remember like that run specifically from Urban Legend to King to ATL, like, because like I'm pretty sure the first T.I. song I ever heard was "Bring 'Em Out" because somebody was playing it on the school bus, and that was my introduction. And then like I heard Urban Legend. Crazy. I saw the ASAP video. It had to have been 106 in Park. So like I saw the ASAP video and I was like, oh yeah, T.I., like this is me. And then I heard King, and like that album was like my whole personality for I don't even know how long. Like, like me. Like me and me and one of my best friends, Spencer. He always used to give me shit like, "Oh, you listening to this bullshit again?" Like he wasn't a T.I. fan at all. He probably still isn't to this day. But like I gave him so much bail after King came out because like the next like 2 or 3 albums, like they're cool, but look back
T.I.
on
versus
now,
T.I.P. and then Paper Trail.
Yeah. I see T.I. versus T.I.P. like we went to summer camp and I would just like I was really into the skits on that album. Like I was into like him fighting with himself. And like it got to the point where we played and he's like, "You're listening to this shit." Like it's like, "What's wrong with you, bro? Like why are you listening?" And I'm just like, "I don't know, man. I like this." Like I was so caught up in it that like that's how good King was. That's how good ATL is. That's how good Urban Legend was. I shot him bail for years. And then eventually I was like, all right, I gotta chill. He's way past his prime.
He's way past it. Like, what's that one song he had after that shit? Boy, you finna get hurt. Work. Put him in the dirt.
I know what you're talking about too, but I can't remember what it's called.
T.I. had like a very, but I don't know. I was very, very, very taken away by that movie. Just like, still to this day, chasing
Yeah.
ATL.
I don't know, man. Yeah, just like, and it's just like so many classic lines, like, and like once again, like, you know, you could tell.
Cuddy tonight.
He said, "I guess the cutty, I guess the trim, I guess the I guess the cutty, I guess the booty, I guess the trim." And the guy, and it took me a minute to realize it because I saw Is God Is a week and a half ago.
How was that?
Who played it was pretty good. I liked it. The guy who plays their uncle, the guy who plays the uncle in ATL, he's the lawyer the girls go to in Is God Is. Because I was looking at his face, I'm like, he's familiar looking. He doesn't have any spoken lines because like it's like a bit in the movie. He gets his tongue ripped out so he can't talk. Like you don't see it happen, but like he just doesn't have his tongue. But like I was looking at him like he looks familiar. Who is this? And then I was like, oh, he's the uncle from ATL. I was like, wait a minute, but I'm like not to derail too much, but I haven't talked about it on here, so I do want to mention it. Is God Is it's probably not playing near most people, but it was really good. There were certain things I didn't like about it, but not to the point where I didn't enjoy the whole rest of the movie. Like it's definitely worth seeing. Really, really great soundtrack. The girls have great chemistry. I know it took me a minute to realize it was based on a stage play, and the dialogue has kind of like that stagey delivery to it that I don't think is. It's not suited to slang. It's not suited to AAVE, Ebonics, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It sounds stilted and corny. I hate that delivery delivered with those words. I wish people would stop trying to like just stop doing that. Just let people talk normal, please. Like just it doesn't work for me. But the movie itself was really good. Once again, gorgeous looking, love the themes. Once again, like the two women at the center are excellent. Sterling K. Brown's great in it. You've never really seen him take a role on like this before, so it's gonna surprise a lot of people who know him as like the wholesome like fatherly man. He's like doing the exact opposite in this. But anyway, I bring that up to say that the uncle from ATL is the lawyer in Is God Is, which was like I'm mad it took me until just now to realize it, but like that's definitely him. Like.
Nah, I'm gonna have to go check that one out. The trailer looked crazy when I saw it. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, word, yeah. Is God Is.
Yeah. But yeah, no, fucking ATL, man. Like just like that. But like this is this is a great opportunity to jump into the next question, which is more or less the same thing, but with music. When did music become capital M music for you? Like not even in terms of you wanting to like participate in it or make it or whatever, but like just liking music.
There's two specific points. Three, really. The first was just like liking music. Michael Jackson was obviously my inspiration, like introduction to music. So like, my big cousin Kyle, shout out Kyle. Yeah. He introduced me to the three MJs: Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson. Oh wait, no, not the three MJs. Excuse me. The three J's. Jordan, Jackson, and Jehovah. Those were his three favorite people growing up. So around the time that I'm like getting acclimated with Space Jam, I'm listening to Thriller, and I'm like having an asthma attack because I watched the Thriller video in my cousin's house. We were all in the basement, and when that nigga turned into the zombie, I ran up the stairs so quickly that I had an attack. Yeah. Yeah, Thriller, I'd say like 2007, 9/11, 2007, the day that I took the fork in the road. My mom said, and it was her birthday too. My mom's a Virgo queen. It was her birthday on 9/11. She said, Chris, you can only get one album. You can't get both. And I was like, wait, what? Like, I got to pick between Curtis or Graduation?
Wow. Yeah.
Made the right choice. I picked up Graduation, and that was like giving like mushrooms to like a fucking primate or something. Like completely, after that it was over with. I was like, whoa, like that's why I got into Daft Punk. I didn't know that I was going to be an artist or a creative but I knew that I was like, yo, this is it. I don't know what it is, but this is it. And then probably like when I got older, like Voodoo or something. Like I could like I always grew up with that shit when I was younger, but like I think like probably when I got like a little bit of hair on my chest and I listened to Voodoo for the first time, I was like, wow, this is the greatest thing ever made. So those three, I'd say, yeah. Thriller, Graduation, and Voodoo.
Yeah, I mean, I had the exact same experience with the Thriller video, except it was him turning into the werewolf and not the zombie. The zombie freaked me out less, and it's mostly because like the transformation scene when he turns into the werewolf and he's like, get away, and he's got like the eyes and he does the whole American Werewolf in London shit. Like, yeah, like I remember like I saw it for the first time and it freaked me out so bad that like my sister and I used to watch it was like a Michael Jackson history CD that had every video on it. It had Thriller, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, Remember the Time, every big Michael Jackson video. And anytime we'd watch it again, I would have to leave the room during the werewolf scene. I couldn't do it. Like I could do it now, but like back then it was I couldn't.
I couldn't imagine seeing that shit on MTV. Yeah. Like that shit happening, niggas like, what? This nigga Mike Jack just went werewolf on us. Like, absolutely. I think too, like the three artists. I mean, like a little bit, not as much with Voodoo, but those two albums were so visual for me growing up. Like Thriller, you got to see all the videos, or like Graduation, like the Digipack. And, like, I would sit and look at the Takashi Murakami artwork and all that stuff. Like, it resonated so much. And, like, I mean, even the Graduation videos were all fucking insane. Good Morning was absolutely insane. Yeah. Can't Tell Me Nothing was crazy. Yeah. Flashing Lights was crazy.
I think Champion had a video, too, right?
Champion had a video. No, Champion had the video, and that was with the... that's when he was trying to make that Crank Anchor show, and they had the puppet. Right. There was a Homecoming video also, and then we can't forget Stronger. The Stronger, Kanye was the first rapper weeb. He was like, "Yo, these niggas in Japan hard." The scene when he was walking out when he had the fucking bandages on him and shit like that, like all of that was so important to like understanding the relation, like when sound and vision, like link up perfectly, it's just like, whoa, like needle drops are very important.
Yeah. And it's crazy because around that time, that was an album for me, that and Food and Liquor, like Lupe, and of course like Lupe and Kanye or at least at the time.
Yeah.
Like that. And like thinking about the artwork and thinking about the shit that like Kanye was on, I always I had Lupe on here a couple years ago, and I didn't ask him the question because we didn't get time, but like I always wondered how much sauce Kanye took from Lupe, because like I would see some of the things he did on Graduation and be like, just like flow wise, like just I guess style wise, generally I'm like, I think like you soaked up a lot from Lupe, huh?
Well, like, Lupe was just the ultimate. I mean, like, yo, he was one of the first. I mean, I think he was the first person I ever heard say Dover Street Market. He was one of the first people I ever heard talk about Maharishi.
Maharishi was the one I was thinking.
Go Yard Bags and stuff. Like, Lupe was like. Lupe was just like, I don't know, bro. Like, I feel like just beyond even Ye, so many people got insane swag from Lupe. And I think really what it was like, Ye was a nerd, but like Lupe was really a nerd. Like that nigga was a nerd, but it showed in ways to where it's like, yeah, when I'm rapping about my clothes, like I'm so specific. I'm so like, what was the one song, the Child Rebel Soldier song that leaked recently, and it was about dry cleaning, or it was about like and he was talking about basically the song was him dissing the people at the dry cleaners for fucking up his clothes. It was some like the way he was saying this shit. He was flexing in ways that I was just like, bro, you a genius. Like you're a genius.
Yeah. I remember exactly where I was when I first heard Us Places. Like that was like a pivotal moment for me. And then the Vashti video with the three of them as kids, and they're all dressed like them. I could do all three of those verses off the top of my head right now. And you're like doing it over the Tom York beat. Yeah, man. And yeah, like even thinking back, like you could go even further back than I know everybody loves to talk about Gold Watch when it comes to like that specific style of Lupe, but like I was just re-listening to I Gotcha, and like listening to the way he talked about not even just clothes, but like the way he was rapping on that song. I'm like even then, like when I first heard that, and like that album is like, to me, like Food and Liquor is like, I still think about that as like that was like a pivotal, like I loved rap before that, but like that really, just the way he was able to reach across all these different demographics and like like reach out to like the comic book nerds and like the hardcore rap people in a way that I didn't really see until I went back and started discovering Wu-Tang. Like Lupe was my first kind of portal into all of that stuff, and realizing you could be all of that and not feel weird about it until I heard 36 Chambers, and then I realized what Wu-Tang was doing and was like, oh, like there's a lineage here. He didn't start this, but
that's a bar. You can be all of that. Like, that's a bar. For
like
real.
Those, yeah, man. Like those, like those guys, like Kanye, Lupe, all of them, like like the Wu-Tang dudes, like OF, like a few years after that,
yeah.
Like I found myself. Like, obviously, I was drawn to other aspects, too, but, like, I had a special place in my heart for the people who let you know, like, you could do all of those things and still be whoever, like, that was important.
When Kick Push came out, I said, why, yes. I thought this was only, I thought I could only create a character on Tony Hawk to see this. Like, on Stevie Williams. Like, it was so cool, bro. It was reaffirming. I feel like, yeah. 1,000%. Even the saying that you can be all of that, like the cover of Food and Liquor, all the different things that like made him who he is, like completely genius level artist. Shout out to Lupe used to tell some of the greatest stories on Clubhouse when Clubhouse first dropped. I remember the one of the best ones he ever told where he was like, so like I'm getting my bape deal, and I call up Kanye. Cause I'm like, like I don't know what I should ask them for money wise.
Right.
So I hit him, and I'm like, yo, how much you pay? And Ye was like, I mean, how much you get paid? He was like, get paid? Nigga, I ain't get paid. And like he was learning like basically like brand partnerships and all this other stuff. Like it may seem like, the coolest thing on earth, but a lot of times like this shit be on some like, pro bono. But crazy dude. Shout out Lupe.
Yeah. Yo, did you before we move on from that, did you see and yes, shout out to Lupe. I gotta have him back on here at some point. He did back when Complex ran that full size run show, they had Lupe on, and he was just telling stories about like all the like he was telling stories about like being in Jay-Z's closet and like and just like Jay giving out all his jeans and like all the Aniche and all the Air Forces, and he was I think he was telling the story about how either he got or he didn't get the pair of on the Rockefeller Air Forces that like everybody wanted at that time, and just like I think he might have brought the Bape deal. He was supposed to, like, Lupe's been begging Nike to let him design an SB forever because like he for me personally, he was the first rapper I ever heard rap about SBs. So like he was like he was attached, and I guess in a way still is attached to that shoe, and he's still like, they never gave me a deal, they never let me make a shoe, like what the fuck, like in his position I'd feel some type of way too. But yeah, shout out to Lupe, man. He's
the GOAT. Oh god.
So as you get older and you start to like really lock in on your tastes and become the person you are, like when did it go from you just taking this all in and enjoying it as a human to like when did you know this is going to become more than just a hobby for you and like this is what you wanted to do on some shit.
Jesus. No,
Yeah.
I feel like I could just name every era when
Basically.
Jesus came out. No, I was like, damn, like,
Yeah.
I think that's when I stopped paying attention in class. That's why I stopped. Like, I couldn't focus anymore. I couldn't focus on math. I ended up failing 2 classes in my 10th grade year, the year Jesus came out, because I was just on CineMasai.com every single day. That's all I cared about, was being on forums and talking about fashion and clothes and fucking music.
Yeah.
And for a while, I was just like kind of just participating somewhat. When it really started actually getting real was when I got a job. So I'm a college dropout. Yeah, it's too many correlations. I'm a college dropout, and I moved to New York to be. So the guy Woody, I told you about, my co-host had a friend, needed an assistant. He was like, "Yo, let's have Chris do it." I moved up to New York. I lived on this lady's couch. I was just her assistant. I did all types of crazy shit. I eventually got an internship in advertising. And for a while, I hated advertising. I still hate advertising. I think it's horrible. We're fueling the capitalistic regime. But eventually I started seeing like, maybe I can pay my bills and somewhat satisfy a little bit of my creative urges by making commercials as film as possible.
Yeah.
So once I guess, like, like putting together a script, like the 81 campaign was like really when I started realizing that, like, holy shit, like I can put together all my references and make something brand new, and it's not some shit I'm uploading on Instagram. It's like $1 million budget, and like there's a world-class athlete and an amazing director behind this. Shout out to Onda. Onda is the director of all the AE campaigns. We sought him out because the way we put together this shit was just like, I'm like, all right, comes back to EA. At the time, we were trying to think of like a way. We only had $350,000, I think, for the first AE1 campaign. It was a very small budget in terms of like making like a bunch of films and doing all this other shit. So at the time, I mean, Jesus Christ, everybody I'm breaking up is fucking canceled. Diddy had that love. When he put out the Love album, the album cover of him walking in the middle of that big red void. Yeah. And then at the time, I was listening to It's Almost Dry because Pusha T mentally prepared me for corporate America, because I didn't think that I was ready for my new job. But Pusha T, every time I hear him talk, I'd be like, actually, these people are beneath me. So I was watching the Diet Coke video, and I was like, oh my God, like the way that like they're capturing this, like, even though, obviously it's a reference to, Flavor in Your Ear, but like, I was like, yo, we got to, like, I was showing all the GIFs. I was like, this is how we need to capture Anthony. And then we started realizing, we're like, wait, like, Onda did this? And then we had another reference. We're like, Onda did that? So we put all this shit together, and, now we have these commercials that are, in my opinion, I don't look at it as a commercial. It's like, yeah, we're going to have to put the shoe shot in there. But I'm just trying to make, like, short films with Anthony Edwards. And I think that's when I started realizing, like, through advertising, that I could potentially, you know what I'm saying, use all of this love that I have for music and culture and all that other stuff to make, what I really always wanted to do is film.
Wow. Yeah. And like, and yeah, like just to, and like, even thinking about that Anthony Edwards campaign, because I remember that, and like being, like that time, seeing all those different aspects of it come together, and just, it's really easy for me to tell when somebody was like, when you could tell they just like wanted to like make something else entirely, but it was like, oh yeah, we got to do the shoe commercial, like, but being able to, I was just thinking about this a couple days ago, just the idea of, I mean, it even goes back to what we were talking about with Space Jam. Like, that was born from a commercial, it was born from a marketing campaign. And we don't, I didn't really think about that until I had been watching a retrospective, and somebody was like, it was born from this. And I was like, you're right. Like, that's like it is, like you said, it's like the greatest commercial of all time in that, and you're like, or you're like, or one of them in that respect. And that's part of the reason why I know I was really attracted to stuff, really just like advertising generally, because of like especially when people knew how to stretch the boundaries and still make an ad, but give it something else that makes you want to come back to it and experience it in like the, like, like perfect example, a recent one, the Ryan Coogler IMAX thing,
Phenomenal.
like that's, like that's an ad, but
that's
like
purposeful, but it's purposeful. It serves a purpose.
It serves such a good purpose. And I mean, like, for people, I mean, like, I know people who go to the movies like once a year, maybe like twice, 3 times a year to go see like the big shit. And they were like invested in like what the different film strips mean and how they get projected. And like they really like, and like it like about 70% of the way through watching it, I had to remind myself that's an ad. Like, this is advertising, but like it's so genuine and everybody behind it is so easy to root for. And it's not like there's any like, oh, but he did this, he said that, this company feels this type of way. Like it was just like the perfect storm of, I can buy into this and forget that it's an ad. And, like that's what I think is so interesting and fascinating about the AE stuff, is that like it gave me a similar feeling. Like, even for somebody who's not as like, Anthony Edwards is fucking awesome. Like I'm not here to talk shit about Anthony Edwards. He's not my favorite player at the moment, but like you guys, y'all sold it. You like, not even just in the sense of like him as an athlete, but like you said, you had the idea and you were like, I just want to make short films with Anthony Edwards in them, and they're cool looking. Like I definitely wanted to stay in that. So
and it's yeah, I'm telling you, like I'm glad you brought up the Ryan Coogler thing, because that's what I always say. I'm like, yo, we have to, like, everything that we're making has to have a purpose. Like, why? Like, at the end of the day, we're like trying to sell people shit. Like I said earlier, like, it's fueling a capitalistic regime. People are tired of big companies. People are tired of organizations. People are tired of like, here, buy this and they're like, I think one of the ones I'm most proud of is this one commercial we did called No Lie. And it's like Anthony is like hooked up to a lie detector and somebody is asking him questions that it was an All-Star Weekend commercial we dropped. And there's only one shoe shot. There's only one shot. And it's such a beautiful shoe shot. It's, shout out to our DP, shout out to, and it's just like, yeah, like I've always had the philosophy of like, we're selling like an idea, not in the sense like an idea of like, oh, I want to buy this shoe. Like, no, I want to be this person, like, and I think that is, if we're able to, I know like, the Allen Iverson practice, y'all talking about practice, like, it's more or less like, I'm like, performance or like basketball, like, look, the shoe's gonna be there, like, let's just make some shit with this kid. And I that's always the inspiration. So for the next one, look out, we got something coming, we got a banger coming. But yeah, bro, anything that's closer to getting me to Sundance.
Hey, bro, one step at a time, man.
One step at a time.
And I want to talk about like what you what you started with and what you do at Coral. So like, where did that, like, you got this internship, you did what you just said you did, like, where, just like talk to me about your history at Coral and like what you do there, what you're most proud of.
I am like, Coral Studios is founded by Ishmael Traore and Henrik Hort. So basically, these two people met on Kindlytother.com, alongside of where we all met, and they made this agency. Before, it used to be called Lego NYC. I came on around like 2016, 2015, really 2014. Just like, I'm like, yo, like, whatever big bro-ish, what I'm saying, needs me to help on, I'll do it. I don't really have any like I didn't know what I was good at. I was just doing shit. Eventually around 2018, we got a Nike shoe. We got a Air Max 95, Coral Studios Air Max 95, cult classic. In my opinion, the best 95 in the recent years. But after I guess like to go through that, I helped with like design, distribution, the rollout, all this other crazy shit. But like essentially, I was like Michael in the Jackson 5. I'm like the kid in the group, like that's soaking up all the game from everybody else. Around 2019, 2018, ish gets into advertising. And eventually somebody that we were working with wanted to hire him, but he was like, no, I don't have time for it, but this kid can do it. This led to me getting like an internship at like some ad agency. Like, bro, like I'm never went to college for this shit. I walked in, they're like, yo, like, are you a copywriter or art director? I was like, art director. Cause that sounded cooler. So for the first year I was an art director. And then I started realizing I'm a yapper and I like writing more. So we did the copywriting, and it's like Coral Studios is like kind of like my like. I mean, it's always going to be like our Avengers, and where we still do agency work on side and all this type of stuff through it, but that was like where I learned all of my chops. That's my Rockefeller, the rack. Madeintheurl is good music.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's really it. I fell into advertising, bro. Like when people hit me up on LinkedIn, they're like, I need some pointers. I'm like, I low key just like slipped through the door. I don't know how the fuck I got in here. But yeah, that's kind of my work ish is my biggest mentor. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's like really, showed me all the chops and everything like that. But yeah, through Coral, we've been able to work on so much. We've designed ridiculous amounts of clothes. I basically learned everything I know from working with Coral. Wow. On different projects and stuff like that. It's the making of a Swiss Army knife. Like there's always a crack that needs to be filled in. So figuring all that out and shit.
Word. And then, and then of course you brought up Made in the URL, which is like your thing that you went off and started on your own and is its own, like it's its own little universe of like, like y'all have like DJ mixes, you do interviews, you write blogs, you do creative consulting, just like, talk to me about like slipping in the door, figuring out all this stuff with Coral and all these different ad agencies you've worked with, and then wanting or better question, around when in your journey did you start putting Made in the URL together?
So I've always, at my core of who I am, I've always wanted to be a rapper. I am a rapper. I write every single day. Everything in my head is bars. And that's the reason why I'm so good at fucking writing commercials. Because for all of these years, I thought I was going to be a rapper. At 28 years old, I'm a writer. I bar niggas up into commercials. But that's what made the URL is the name of my mixtape. I was making music. I have one song out in history named Internet Cowboy.
Yep, I remember.
And that was like the name of the mixtape. And then I was like, wait. It's kind of a gas name. Like, generational name. And I will give myself the props on the back. I don't think anybody has came up with a better name than Madeintheurl in terms of describing this generation. So thank you, 20 years old, high as fuck, Christopher Chance. I was sitting on the phone with my friend Jack, and I was like, yo, we're trying to think of names for the tape. I was like, Casual Intimacy? Nah. Madeintheurl? That was like the second one we was done. After that, we was like, all right, it's called Madeintheurl. So eventually, I was in my internship, and I kind of needed to put together like a portfolio. And I made the website. So I was like, Madeintheurl.com. It was just basically, it looked like a fucking, it was the cargo format that everybody has now, the desktop shit. That's what it was. This is a desktop. I showed this to every fucking recruiter that was trying to get me a job at the time. We were like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And then eventually made a Discord because I was trying to recreate Madeintheurl.com, but on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
Create an incubator for people to meet each other and build. And I think we've been pretty successful at doing that. But eventually we were like, all right, let's make a website. We made it like publication. Obviously we were throwing mad parties back in the day. A lot of bills that if you go look back at them now and you saw that they were for free, like how the fuck did Swami Days, Dub, and everybody under the sun be in one place? Shout out to my brothers.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's just everything that we were just into, like it was. And at this point, I know you said like creative consulting. That's what we do the most at this point. And we do have some things. We have some things in store for this year, which I'm very excited about. But Madeintheurl was like my first time like being able to, I guess, like make a true collective brand, idea, ethos, way of life. First like stab at lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I know that is like it's in the day-to-day of what we actually do is like at the back of my mind, but at the end of the day, like, yeah, that's what Madeintheurl is. It's a lifestyle that happens to also be a creative agency.
Yeah. And yeah, like those descriptors are always so funny to me because like you talk to like people joke about the idea of like the title of like creative director, for example. Like nobody, like everybody who's been a creative director has their own definition of what it means to be a creative director. There's no like consensus for what that means exactly. I know a lot of people who aren't involved will look at it as just like, oh, that's like the title they give some. I mean, like I think about like Pharrell being the creative director of Louis Vuitton. It's just like the day. Like I always wonder like what the day-to-day of that kind of looks like, just because like he's Pharrell and you could just give him whatever title you want and have him, like in some cases it can feel just like being like an executive producer on a movie or like an album, like somebody who's got the flashy name and they're up there but they're not doing like the capital T capital W work.
Yeah, they're like, I look at like advertising agencies. There are creative directors, but in the sense of like what a creative director at a fashion brand plays is the role that a CCO plays at like an advertising agency. Yeah, you're essentially the face. You bring in the business. Like it's more or less like when there's a new CCO appointed at an agency, everybody's like, oh, like this person worked on this and the third. I can bring this client in. I can bring this client in. These people are gonna want to work here now. Like I feel like that's what that is on that level. But on something like for us, yeah, it's like I don't even like. I mean, I guess I am the creative director of Madeintheurl African American Art. I don't even like look at it like that anymore. In the sense of like when I was a kid, I wanted to be a creative director so bad. And I know what it takes. I am one. You have to know everything. You have to have done everything. I am the art director. I am the copywriter. Obviously, we work with, like, it's a team of us. But, like, at the end of the day, that's what I started. I started all those things. And the reason why I'm able to direct creatively is because I understand the creative itself. Some niggas just be wanting to have that title. And I'm going to keep it a step with you. I'm cool with owner, founder. Yeah. Like creative director is like at the end of the day, like it's cool, but it's just like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of times people just don't understand what it takes to be one. And you have to just know, you got to know it all. You got to know it all. Like you can't be a proper quarterback without understanding like how a wide receiver runs routes. Like you have to know that everything. And yeah, a lot of niggas just be knowing how to take a pic. And they're like, but.
No, you know how to take a picture, but can you put a mood board together? And like, what does the mood board look like? Because like not everybody's mood board, or not even a mood board, but I guess like mood board, inspiration board, whatever you want to call it. You know, like it's like, you know, like you can like yeah, like it's the difference between like having a vision or having an idea, and like you said, knowing the exact parts necessary to actually bring the idea into fruition. You know, which is part of the reason why you get like the bigger people who like get that title. And while, you know, like it's like sure, a lot of them aren't really doing that work, but like it's one of those things where it's like if you're gonna be that, like you have the experience necessary to know where everyone's coming from and know where everybody fits in, you know. And like that's a skill not everybody has. Like, you know, like you know, it's not like you're the executive producer who's gonna just get like $2 million just for like being in the room, you know.
Nah, you got to build that motherfucking room.
Yeah,
you got to pick everybody in there too.
Yeah. You know, you are the mold in that sense, and that's one of the things I find so cool about African American artists, because like I remember first hearing about it and seeing you push it, and it's just, I mean, like it's like it couldn't be more clear like what the intent is. Like it's in the fucking name, and like like the reason it really strikes me is because it's just one of those thoughts and ideas like, damn, like nobody's done this yet. Like you're the first one to like just call your shit African American artist, like in that kind of like you know, like the idea of it to me, like obviously please like feel free to step in, but like to me the idea of African American artist is like, it feels kind of tongue in cheek just because of the idea of like what, like we all know what it means to be an African American artist, but to like acknowledge it, it's like that it's like the Marcel Duchamp fucking like putting the urinal in the museum and like this is art, you know, like or like the painting of the pipe and this is not a pipe, you know, like just kind of like you're lamp shading, but in like a really sincere way and like earnest way, in the way that like people obviously feel seen by, and like seeing the logos all over the place and like all the different art you've made for it. Like just like where, like just talk to me about bringing African American artists to life and like the idea and seeing it spread, like all that good shit, you know?
So I do everything. Like I do everything. Like it's like niggas be like, oh, what do you do? Like it's like, I'm so sorry I keep on bringing this nigga up, but it's like saying like, oh yeah, Kanye, yeah, he's a producer. He makes beats.
Yeah.
He's sitting over there looking at you like, nigga, I do this and the third, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And I feel like, you know, like working in advertising is like an industry where like I move like a rapper. Like when I'm presenting like a presentation, it's like I'm performing at the Grammys. Like I'm not like, this is like the most important thing on earth to me. I don't care. I'm a dunk on a pussy nigga. If somebody else is on the project, I'm beating them, and nobody has better work than me. That's how I feel every single day I come to work. But that's how my mind and brain has been trained from being grown up on Graduation, ATL, and a Bronx Tale. But it's one of them things where it's like, I just got tired of explaining myself. I mean, oh yeah, I'm an African American artist. Everything I make is African American art. So I'm an African American artist.
Yeah. And
then it started getting deeper in the sense of like, you know, like there are times where I felt like typecasted a lot, in the sense of like, you know, like, it's like, yo, like, I think the biggest moniker thing about African American artists is like, anything that I make is that I'm getting it out the way. It's like, yo, like, yes, this is who I am. I grew up in America. I'm black. This is what my art is. And I feel like a lot of the times, like when you're a black artist, you're expected to do certain things, reference certain things, have things be in your, you know, your art. And I feel like I have like, I that's why I idolize Michael Jackson so much, because I think that he was able to make something that was so inherently black, but it was made for the world. Like there's people that are on the other side of the fucking ocean are losing their mind over this. Yeah. And Yeah, I don't know. I needed like a term to call everything I do because there's certain things I do that are like clearly this, and then there's certain things I do that are like mad weird. And I just needed to kind of level set, like, nah, nigga, like this all black art. You know what I'm saying? Like this what happened when your daddy from Jamaica and your mama family from down south and they meet in New York, and then you have a kid that's exposed to the internet. Like this is the result of that. So even with the clothes and everything, like in the beginning, it was just more like I've always been very, very like I like meta. I love popularity. I like and I'm not saying I like I love mainstream in the sense of like I think it's insane to be able to make something that resonates with so many people. And I've always found that like direct statements are the ones that do it, like made in the URL.
Yep.
Boom. Immediate. Oh, I know what that means.
Yeah, like you get it. Yeah, exactly.
You get it. So like African American artists, like I remember like one time, well, I think it was like Rich Black, or like Black American Psycho, or like no, it was Christian Billionaire. What did he? Oh yeah. It was Christian Genius Billionaire. That was what Kanye started telling people to call him, and I was like, yo, this is so funny. Like in a time period for me where I've always found that like there's like a lot of like I don't know, I feel like we just get into the weeds and shit. I'm like, yo, like if I got 1 second to introduce myself to you, African American artist, you know, like I look at it as like a good name or a good like, you know, it's like if you in a club and somebody trying to get your Instagram, if you can say it in one sentence, one time in a loud club, you know you got a name. Yeah. And yeah, so it was like, you know, we started putting it on clothes, and you know, at first it was just artists, and now the brand is art. So we'll obviously, you know, we still have the artist tees, and that's my moniker, my artistic moniker. But yeah, the idea of it all boiling down to is like anything that I make is African American art. So our clothing, obviously, while a lot of times inspired by like, you know, I mean, we have some very interesting pieces coming out that are all inspired by like Black people within all the different artistic mediums I love. But like, also like, I grew up on like nerd shit, a lot of white shit too. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so it's more or less just like Tony Hawk was my Tony Hawk was like Kanye to me before Kanye. Like that was the most important person on earth. Like everything that rolled out of Tony Hawk, whether it be the culture, the music, this and the third, like, so it's just more or less like it's all of my influences, all of the things that make me me. With an explanatory wrapper on top of it. I think that's what it is. It's like, yeah, like no, this is from African American artists. This really weird thing you just saw. But yeah, I don't know. My favorite director, like I mean, obviously, like I love Christopher Nolan, but I love like Chris Cunningham, Aphex Twins, one of his biggest, you know, collaborators, like. The weird, fucked up, glitchy, pixelated sometimes. Like a lot of our artwork seems like I like to design everything to make it feel like a memory of like what it looks like in your mind. Like it's not perfect. It's not you know like clear, vectorized, and all that stuff. But like nothing with swag is vectorized. It's all pixelated. But yeah, I think that's all I have on my mind about it. Right now, it usually changes every day.
Yeah, no, and it makes sense. And like the term I was looking for before was meta. You know, when I was saying tongue in cheek, like meta is definitely what I meant there. You know, like it's just like you say it, and like you said, you immediately like I got it. You know, like you know, I was like, oh, African American artist. You know, like it's just like you don't gotta. It's like very if you know, but also you can. You know that it's if you know, and you might not know what the no is, but the no is known. I can't believe you know, I just did one of those. You know,
no, I agree 100%. And I feel like the easiest way to explain it was that Madeintheurl was my debut album. That was like me pulling up to the world. That was just gonna be like the best debut rap album that you can possibly think of. African American Art is the follow up album. That is rap, but it's also every Black genre. So it's like, it's rock, it's fucking, it's country music, it's R&B, it's all of the things that black people have made that a lot of times motherfuckers don't even recognize as ours. You know what I'm saying? So like, more or less like, this is all. So that was the concept. African American Art was also just the name of a second mixtape that never came out. It became a brand. So that's what I do. I come up with album names and turn them into clothing brands and shit. But
wow.
Yeah, that's where we're at right now. Just I want to be able to make my shit, pop my shit, and be inspired by absolutely anything that I possibly can be. Because I feel like my favorite artist of all time, that's what he did. And when I go back and see the influences that like made Michael Jackson videos the way that they are, and like his obsession with Charlie Chaplin and all of these weirder things I would have never thought he was really into, but he made it into his own that then inherently became like the black baseline swag. I think that's the coolest shit on earth. But shout out to Mike.
Yeah, man. and like that's interesting to me just because like you think about the era that Michael Jackson like really came up in like as a solo artist, like that kind of like just before MTV started to blow and then he really started to benefit from it. Like obviously the way we're all exposed to culture is so different now. Like there was like designated times where it was like, oh, the music video's on the TV. Oh, this, like just kind of like being tethered to channels in that specific way of like, this is on from then to, this is on from 6:30 to 8:30. If you miss it, you got to wait till tomorrow. You got to wait till next week. Or if you were lucky enough to have like a tape recorder or like a VHS on a VCR, you could record it to a tape. But like, and then you're like during that, like in that era, like monoculture was everything, like there was always going to be that one thing that everybody was tuned in on. And now, like with like everything's so much more niche and fragmented now, especially thanks to the internet, so like monoculture still exists, but it's got to be like earth shaking. It's got to be like the Drake albums coming out, like all three at one time, that every single person has an opinion or a thought, or is at least like tuned in and aware, like it's so few things that everybody's aware of, whether it comes to taste or general reference or knowledge, and, like, I guess like my next question would be like running a brand like African-American Artist and catering to obviously an already specific type of person who would be interested in that idea. Like, how do you manage to run a brand like that and make an impact while just like dealing with how the internet changes everything so fast, like trends, like trends and tastes and styles come and go in 12 hours, like, like it'll be popping on TikTok for 18 hours. Then you come back tomorrow and everybody's moved on to the next song, the next shoe, the next pair of socks, the next,
it's game, like selling clothes is like selling produce.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, you know what I'm saying, niggas got some shit that ain't gonna really last that long on the shelf. Yeah. I look at it in a funny way. Candidly speaking, I mean, like, what? It's May 29th. When is it gonna come out?
Next week.
Next week. Well, I got a little collaboration in the tuck right now about to come out in June. It's with one of my favorite brands. One of my favorite brands. But I look at it as more or less like what do I provide? Like what am I gonna bring to the table? Like that's why I mean, like, bro, we've done one drop online. Everything else has been like in store at Denim Tears. I'm not like necessarily like worried with like selling t-shirts.
Yeah.
I have a goal with the brand. My goal with African American art is to have everybody on earth recognize that like this is the mecca of swag in terms of like influence. Like I remember going to China, bro. I went to China and I'm in China I got my afros out. Like people are looking at me like I'm God. They're like,
Of
whoa!
course. Yeah, they can't handle that shit.
And it's like, yo, like for me, if I was in America and a nigga came up to me and was just like looking at me like, yo, I'd be like, get the fuck out of my face. But I guess I was so in awe of how much people appreciated not only just like I went to China with Anthony Edwards' team in Complex, and they had this one event for him where he did this like fucking expedition game or some shit, exhibition game. And they had a halftime show where these Chinese niggas came out, started doing basketball, like, fucking break dancing and shit. And like, nigga, my daddy from the Bronx. Like, my dad's like, the whole life is to get now. Like go hurt. Yeah, so it's like, I'm sitting here like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, it's crazy how far what we do back home goes around the world. And I just think that it's one of those things where it's like, in the way that like, we all love Italian shit. We love it. Oh, that's Italian fabric. Oh, that's made in Italy. Oh, wait, that's what I'm like, yo, African American people, why don't everybody want to walk around and say and act like that? Because we all listen to the music, we all talk like us. So it's like, when are we going to recognize that this is all African American art? And I think that's what the goal is with the brand in terms of what we're going to do with advertising. Because that's going to be a very important, obviously I make commercials. So like in terms of explaining, like this brand is for everyone. It is for the entire world. Maybe you'll look a little crazy if you're not black and you're wearing an African-American artist t-shirt, but it's like, no, yeah, AAA is for the world. It's made by us for y'all. Like, so I don't know. Like, I guess like having an extremely distinct point of view and a reason for everything that I'm doing is the reason why we're able to operate in a time where it's so fucking ridiculous in terms of every single, and don't get me started on everybody having a manufacturer. Everybody got a man. There's a lot of wasteland garments being made right now.
Yeah.
And it's, it's like, listen, I done seen some shit on Canal. I done seen some shit down in Atlanta. Everybody got them flared sweatpants with the fade.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I recognize all of that stuff. Like when I first started making clothes, nigga, like a manufacturer, like, bro, like DTG direct a garment wasn't even like an idea in 2013 like that. And if it was, you must have had some money on. We used to have to design t-shirts with 4 colors. I tell my brother Christian, the art director, I'm like, nigga, we can only do 4 colors on this t-shirt. Why do you have 6 colors on here? We can't print this. The fact that you can just throw anything on a t-shirt, you can make any type of fucking garment. The sample is $100. The minimums is only 10. It's like, it's easy to make clothes at this point. So like, do you want to make clothes or do you want to make noise or do you want to spread a message? So I'm more on like the latter. I kind of want to spread the message, so yeah, just being very distinct in our references, being very distinct on how even like we operate. Like I hate like so much about how fashion is right now. Like it's a lot of excess, a lot of doing shit that we don't gotta do, and a lot of forgetting about the basic. In the same way that like a lot of people would feel like the average hip hop listener doesn't know about the 5 pillars. The average streetwear enjoyer doesn't know what streetwear is anymore.
Yeah.
It's like this was a completely different thing back in the day. There was things about the community and the way that even like how I saw somebody complain on Twitter. And I mean, I get the sentiment. I totally do. But somebody was like, I hate t-shirts that are like this. And it was like small logo on front, extremely dope logo on the back. And I was like, I get it. But that's a streetwear staple. That's like saying, oh, I hate this shirt that has the buttons right here and then the collar. It's like, bro, that's a polo.
Right. Sorry, you finish your thought.
No, keep going.
I was just gonna say, like, I'm the type of person, like, I love that because like it's classic, like that's just like the style. But because my hair is so long and I usually wear it to the back, I'm always annoyed about it because I'm like, my fucking hair is blocking the logo.
And then what if you got a jacket on?
Exactly. You know, like I want to be able to rock, like, like I tend to prefer shit it doesn't have to be like this big, but like I like stuff that's like where like the main attraction's on the front because it's just easier for people to see, you know? Like if I'm wearing something like that, you know, like chances are I want it to like blend in with what I'm wearing and like make a fit or whatever. But you're right. Like it's a staple. Like it's a staple, and it just is what it is, and you just worry about it, deal with it, put my hands in front, and keep moving, you know. But like, yeah, I'm just happy you know, like that's I think about that a lot, and just think about the greater good of it all. But whatever. Anyway.
No, yeah, that's really it. It's just, you know, just trying to bring a little bit of the essence back, man. Like my hero is Virgil. Virgil is my hero in terms of like showing, being a teacher. Somebody explaining not only the inspiration, but how we got there and why we got there and why we got to keep it going like that.
Yeah. I
feel like a lot of people I mean, obviously, like, you know, like niggas everybody want to be a rapper. I guess I'm all niggas. Everybody want to be a rapper. Now niggas just want to make a clothing brand and get a high rise in Atlanta. You know, the next thing, I don't know what the next thing gonna be, but it's just when everybody is on to the next thing, I'm gonna still be over here.
Yeah,
you know, like
you love.
That's what I love, man. I grew up Supreme Drops, Stussy, like just really, really doing like, I mean, like at this point, like I'm also a brand manager at Denim Tears, so I'm like working on a clothing brand, a streetwear brand. You know, and seeing how this all goes and impacting, and it's just like, bro, this is what I love to do, and I feel like, you know, in terms of that's how I stand out to these niggas. It's like, bro, you come up to me like that diamond tester not fucked up. That bitch is legit. Check every gemstone.
Yo,
like a lot of these niggas, they may be looking a little fool, but nah, I'm really about it, man. Really about it.
Man, yeah, like it had been so long since I've seen a diamond tester video. Like I'm thinking like years since I saw like a new one, and then I think like 2 weeks ago I started seeing people bring the diamond testers back out, and I'm just like, okay, cool. It was really something about, like, I'll never forget the first time I saw one. It was Fat Boy, dude from Jersey.
SSE.
Yeah. Shout out to Fat Boy SSE. There was like my favorite diamond tester video is the one where it's like he and his boy like tested each other's diamonds, and then like his shit. It turns out his boy's rocking the Fugazi, and you know he corners him. He goes, "Your shit fake, nigga."
The Moissanite.
Got it. You do not have it. Like I quote that video all the time to this day, and it's just like really that, like, you don't got it, you do not have it, like, and, you know, like just like the, like, you're really, you know, like you're really about this shit, and I know that because I mean, like, you of course just like laid out a little bit of the history of just like streetwear generally, and I'm happy you stumbled on to Stussy. I'm sure you know why I'm happy you stumbled on to Stussy, because people were going crazy on Twitter this past week trying to talk bullshit about fucking Stussy.
So wait, what did that start with? Because I was seeing the hey, yo, shout out to all my Stussy family.
I got my hoodie in the closet. Sorry.
all my Stu family. Like, yo, like I'm about to go over there today. They just had a new drop. Look, man, I don't know what the fuck that started with, but it's just one of them things where it's like, yo, if you are questioning the integrity of the literal, the first one,
yeah,
the nigga James worked for Sean. You know, like, it's like, what are we doing here? Was niggas just having hot takes on bit? Hot takes like, what were they saying about Stussy?
It was like, I gotta go find the original one, but it was just somebody saying some. I remember what it was. The original take to set everybody off was like, I don't want to, I don't want to see like 30-plus-year-old people wearing Stussy or like 30-plus-year-old people in streetwear. And I'm just like, and like, of course, like the big argument was like you said, like Stussy is like ground zero, foundational, like load bearer, like, so it's crazy. So it's crazy to think that there's obviously going to be people in their like 40s, 50s, however the fuck old, who want to wear Stussy. And like, it's just this general idea of like, you're only supposed to wear, or at least it's how I took it. Like, people might have taken it a different way, but like, you're only supposed to wear this type of stuff until a certain point in your life, and it's over. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
But of course, like denim tears. Like, I see people in those fucking denim, like of all ages. I see children. I see like old ass men. Like, I went to go see Youngboy in Newark. I covered the show in Newark.
Fire.
Back in November, and like, most of the people I saw in denim tears were older than me. I'm 34, bro. I'm talking like 40, 50-year-olds in denim tears sweatsuits, in the jackets, in every, like, I can't imagine, like, I just have such a, like denim tears, Supreme, obviously, like all these different, like 10 Deep just came back. Like, who knows how long ago? Like, I hold 10 Deep very close to my heart. My favorite streetwear brand to this day. Yeah, no, like they're amazing. But like, I think it was just generally the idea. Yeah,
niggas be stupid.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest.
Basically,
because I'm sorry for even having to say that they stupid, but it's just one of them things where it's like, bruh, if you had any general knowledge of Stussy as a brand today, this is the brand that a plus 30-year-old nigga should be wearing. It's like, I go up in Stussy. Do you know how many times I pull up on a nigga? They be like, bruh, where you get that from? Is that our legacy? Is that blah, blah, blah? I be like, nah, it's Stussy. Like, they have figured out right now, like, this perfect type of, like, Americana surf vibe that looks like it could be our legacy or something like even more expensive. I think that really leads me to like, I'm really tired of hot take culture, or like people just like, a lot of people on Twitter. I'm a Virgo moon and rising. I'm an Aries sun, so that's just like, I'm like a really loud know-it-all. So, like, when niggas don't know it at all, I be getting mad. I'm like, bruh, like, how the fuck you gonna be louder than me and you don't know what you're talking about? Like, so, I was looking at, I didn't even get engaged in anything. I was like, bro, whoever the fuck done said something about Stussy, that must have lost their goddamn mind. But yeah, shout out to the Stussy fam, man. They making some cool shit right now, bro. They got some cute little clothes, man. But I don't know, I think the aging out of fashion thing is so weird. Like, I think, like, obviously, he's easy to make fun of, but like the whole Jim Jones thing, I was like, yo, like Jim Jones has been dressing like this, like that's his style.
25 years, bro. Like, what are we talking about?
It's like it also too. I just think that like it's more like about like how people police others. Yeah. Weirdly enough, it's like, oh, just because you stopped wearing the clothes you like to wear at a certain age and started dressing a certain way, that like everybody else has to do that too, like. Let that nigga live his life. Let him dress like NBA Youngboy if you want to. It make him happy.
Yeah. And then you got to think about it at the end of the day, like, like you're not built like Crash Bandicoot. Let the guy who's built like Crash Bandicoot wear whatever he wants. Shout out to Jim Jones. I love For the Love of the Hustle and the Heatmakers album and all that shit. But anyway, yeah.
Jim Jones also got one of the craziest terms ever, bro. Where he talk about the denim on top of the jeans. He's like, you got a tongue fuck. You got a tongue fuck. Yeah, shout out Jim. Shout out.
Yeah, man. But yeah, like to your point about, like, I don't know, like if you can make it look good and you're comfortable in it, like do it. Like I honestly love the idea of people, like I could even see it going into the future where like people like you or just you, period, are like designing these types of clothes for people. I mean, like like ALD. I mean, Leon Dore does that. Like they're really like I'm not like the biggest fan of all their shit, but they've definitely gotten like them and Kith. I think, and I guess Supreme too are like really good. Like, you know, like they figured out a way to, you know, like to make it appealing to people to make it appeal to older people who like grew up on stuff and aren't ready to just like abandon it and throw on the fucking golf cap and the cardigans, you know, like you don't have to do the golf cap and the cardigans if you don't want to, you know.
And you know what's the beautiful thing is that a good clothing brand is structured like a ladder, right? Yeah. So something like a Supreme, a Denim Tears, a Stussy, all have an entry-level item that you usually gravitate towards when you're a kid. But then there's other pieces eventually. So like there was times when I was a kid that I never clicked on the shirt section of Supreme. I never, like, not in terms of a button up or not. I'm not looking at that shit. Like, I'm not paying $150 for a button up. Like, but now I'm in that. I'm like, ooh, this shirt that has no logos on it looks so nice. Like, or, you know, like, there's just like I guess a ceiling in all of these brands, like, that you get to once you're able to get there. Like, I laugh about it. Like the sections on the side of the Supreme site started unlocking slowly but surely as like I ranked up in age, and I guess in a little bit of more money on. Like next season, I'm like, okay, jackets are unlocked, like, you know. But yeah, that's how it should be, man. Like the shit that I buy from Denim Tears, or like, you know, all the stuff I wear. A lot of times people don't even know it's that. They're like, wait, that's Denim Tears. I'm like, yeah, like they make all types of clothing. You know, it's just like. Everybody just kind of, I don't know. I feel like that take was a real Twitter. I'm about to get niggas mad today tweet.
Yeah. No, that was textbook rage bait.
Yeah, they got
textbook rage bait. Like, I didn't get involved at all, but I saw people talking. It got people talking.
Oh,
that's for sure. Like, oh man, it was bad. You know, it was like like he baited the hook and everybody bit. Everybody bit. But yeah, I mean, like, even to your point about like, yeah, like when I got, so I mean, like if you're listening to this, you know this already, but for you, like I co-founded a worker-owned music publication called Hearing Things, and we had investor money at first. And, you know, like we were, you know, like when I first got the offer to do Hearing Things, I got offered more money than I've ever been paid for any job I've had in my life. Forget fucking writing. You know, it was like a stupid amount of money. So, you know, I had a lot of extra income to just burn on whatever. And, you know, I got to the point that everybody in their like late 20s, early 30s gets to. I'm trying to buy shit that I couldn't afford when I was a fucking teenager in my early 20s. So, you know, like I go on to Supreme, and the first two things I grab are I grabbed this beautiful it's all in my closet. I'm not gonna go grab it, but like I grabbed this beautiful olive green and pink hoodie with the pink coin on the back. This is from the 2024 season. And the Martine Rose denim jacket, the reversible joint. Not the blue and orange one. I wanted the blue and orange one, but I didn't get it in my size before they sold out. So I got the black one, you know? And like, you know, maybe 5 years ago, I wouldn't have given a shit to buy that. I would have wanted to maybe grab like 3 or 4 really nice tees and have those. And like, obviously I love me a t-shirt, but like I saw the Martine Rose jacket and I wear that, you know, like if it's below 50 degrees, I wear that shit all the time. I don't plan on getting rid of it ever. Like I'm going to keep it. And on top of it being practical, that's what I bought when I could afford it. I got a Bape hoodie. Like I've always wanted a Bape hoodie. Never had one of those. Like not like a real good one. You know, like the shit was not cheap, and I put it on a payment plan, but I got it. You know, like, I you know, just like stuff like that, like those types of things, to be able to move from that and have those companies to the point where you don't need to go to like, you know, you don't need to be like Hill Figured Out or like formal poloed out if you don't want to. You can. Obviously, you might grow a taste for that, but it's not like you have to stop going to whoever, you know, like that's important. Like, you know, you should be able to look good, feel good, and those sensibilities don't need to change once you hit a certain age point, you know. That's just how I feel. This is how I feel.
100%, nigga. We're gonna be, look, man. I'm gonna be putting this shit on till I'm goddamn in the grave. My
on.
children gonna be having to worry. I'm gonna be like, somebody pass me my Air Force Ones.
You're gonna have them with the Dr. Scholl's. You're gonna have to have like the extra fucking padding, but we will be in the AF1s. Trust and believe.
Exactly.
Exactly. Damn, I'm trying to think of because okay, yeah, nah. So I got two more questions. Like one just on like I'm not even gonna explain it. So I mean, just like at the point you're at, I know you got shit in the works. There's things coming. I guess these are kind of the same question, just told from different types of media. Like, let's say you have infinite budget, infinite resources. You could work, like just like who's somebody you'd want to make something with or collaborate with, and what would you want to make? Like, what would that look like if you had money was no object? It was just like they gave you a blank check.
I go record my ultimate like the ultimate album I've ever wanted to make with all my favorite collaborators, and I would have Hideo Kojima make a visual album for me. I want as soon as it doesn't even have to be like that's on the selfish tip. Me just working with Hideo Kojima on anything, like I need him to scan me. Like, I need to be in the game. Kojima, I know you're watching this because you're super tapped in. Bring a nigga in that game.
Man. Yeah, no, we need you in Death Stranding 3 for sure. Easy.
I'd say either Hideo, Chris Cunningham, and then maybe like, can I bring somebody back? I can't bring nobody back from the dead. Damn, I'm trying to think of a lot of motherfuckers. Super Ultra Mega Dream, like I ain't even gonna cap, man. Drake. I'd love to do on some like I'd love to be like, yo, I got a blank budget with you. We about to make like a crazy movie or like a music video or some wild shit like I always had the gripe that I would be like, yo, like, why doesn't this motherfucker have like Christopher Nolan doing his music videos, like, or something crazy like that? But I feel like the last album, he kind of got in the right direction. So I'm like, all right, word, it's the perfect time. Christopher Chance Crib director to save, save the day. But yeah, I think those are probably my three.
Those are great choices, and I say that because. So like as somebody who doesn't give a shit about the Drake anything, I still haven't listened to the albums. Like I've heard songs, but I haven't done the listening. Like my favorite aspect of my favorite thing Drake's done for this particular rollout was the commercial he did with KD for the KD shoes, where they're like when he's like showing him the bullshit and he's just like hyping him up in like the fucking Toronto Roadman, like just like the abominable snowmans, and just like, it's like every once in a while I forget that Drake started out as an actor, and just like seeing him in that mode is I'm not gonna it's pretty funny, like he's good at that, he's really good. Drake is so good at making fun of himself and kind of like playing into the joke in that way. It gets really annoying, and I think a big part of the reason why a lot of his posts, if you're reading this stuff, never really connected, like from views on largely, even though I love stuff here and there, is because he took himself too seriously. He like bought into his own hype and bought into his own like narrative and story in a way that he's just like not. So to see him kind of like cut back and be silly with his buddy KD in the locker room, just for some like on some like content, let's make a cool commercial shit, like, like that's fun. Like, and I could see you two doing something on that level that'd be like fun and interesting. And I'd rather see stuff like that than hear another Drake album. I'm gonna keep it 1,000.
Yo, that guy is so fucking funny. Like it's kind of like there's certain people that have that effect on me. Like it's him. Funny enough, when Cole do certain things, like I went to Dreamville because my little brother, shout out my little brother Jared, shout out my
Yeah.
dog, the GOAT. He was graduating this year, and it was the last Dreamville Fest, and that's his favorite rapper. So I'm like, all right, and I'm from the South. I'm damn near from Fayetteville. I'm like about an hour and a half away. So we went down there, and I was watching the concert, and I was like, Jermaine, I fuck with you, bruh. Like, I be fucking with you. Like, because he had like a speech. One thing that Cole is really good at doing is doing one of those speeches where, like, you know, like you start thinking about your life and shit like that. He's like, thank y'all everybody here today. Blah, blah, blah. Like, there's certain people that can do that one thing. Or like, even Tyler. There's times when Tyler does something and transports me back to being like 14 again. And I'm like, wow, like, you're the coolest guy ever. Like,
he's been leaning into that more lately for sure. He did that a lot around like Chromacopia era.
Yeah.
It's been cool to see him kind of like ease off the gas a bit and like be that, because it felt like he was running away from being that for a long time, and now he's that, because he's also like he became bigger than I think anybody ever really anticipated. Like he's in that anyway. Yeah, agreed.
No, you're 100%. This is the thing I love the most. I love music discussion. You know Eric the Young God.
Of course, yeah. No, that's the homie. You mentioned Kanye Tither before, and he was the first thing that. Yeah, I had him on here before. That's my man.
So I go, me and Eric. So we be doing a little podcast that is like kind of like a secret podcast for real. I ain't even gonna say the name of it. I think there's an episode of it on his YouTube right now, actually. But we go in there and talk about music all the time on there. But like, no, I think Tyler was also like so important, and this goes back to like film. Tyler was so important on like my young mind of like, especially being able to just like tell these stories, like the She video, even something as voyeuristic and disturbing as like VCR. Like, video was, if you go watch that video now, it's like, nigga, this was too good. like why was this accurate? But in the way that he filmed, and he was able to utilize his budgets in ways that made it feel like he didn't have one. Like I feel like his even just like the way that like the Beamer video started, and like he was able to just like bring the vibe of that song so perfectly to video. Like, I always appreciate artists that have that foresight. I mean, like, I'd say like Dot has crazy videos. Dot has ridiculous videos. The one video of what video is it at the beginning of the "Tell me who the bitch nigga hating on me"?
The All Right video. With them in the car and the cops are holding up. That's the beginning of the All Right video.
But yeah, just that's always going to be something like important. Like, that's why like I love Daft Punk so much. Daft Punk is, so they're doing a 20th. So I went to the 20th anniversary Tribeca Film Festival screening of Interstellar 555. Yes. And like their manager was there and shit. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I pulled some I pulled some Twitter nigga press a nigga shit. I was like, why y'all using AI? That was my first question in the Q&A. But I got a ticket to go see. So they doing a Electroma 20th year anniversary. It can't be 30 years. And it's gonna be in 4K. And Tomas is gonna be there.
Wow.
And yeah, I'm gonna get to go. But like, just all my favorite artists are just always able to visualize their music so fucking well. Like, it's such an important skill to me.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like that's how, like, having a strong visual identity in that, and not even just a visual identity, but just being able to like build a world around the stuff that you do is like, that's what attracts not just audiences, but like people who want to work with you and help you like fulfill that vision. But even if you don't want to be like Tyler playing like all the stadiums, and like Cole and Drake and Dot playing all the stadiums, like You can be you can be somebody like I was just with him last night. You could be somebody like a Billy Woods, who like has like his. I mean, like it's funny because his like his visual identity is like it's almost the exact opposite because he doesn't show his face on camera, but like like he's built a persona and a world as Billy Woods that people want to come to, and there's no middleman. There hasn't really been a middleman there since they started Backwoods in the early 2000s. And like it took them like the thing that always blows my mind about that is that like it took them 20 years to do that. They did it by themselves, they finessed, they made connections, they failed hard. They fucking lost money. They had to have records sent back by the fucking distros and shit. But like, like now you get to a point where like you like there's a specific type of world and ethos and, to an extent, a visual identity through the videos and like having Richter do having Alexander Richter, shout out to Richter, peace to Richter, do the photography, like they built a world that people want to inhabit. It's not just the fact that the music's amazing, because like all the music coming out of Backwoods is amazing, but like, they built a world. Backwoods is a universe. It's a galaxy all the way over there, and people want to be involved in that because it's over there, and like that's and like you can do that at all those levels and really entrench yourself in a world and to bring it back to bring it full circle, like an identity, like that's what that is. So that shit's important.
I remember when diabetic test strips came out. I remember like walking down the street and I was like looking at the flyer, and I remember at first when I didn't see Arm & Hammer at first. I was looking at the flyer, I was like, what the fuck? And then I started looking, I was like, wait, this looks familiar. Like, and then it all started coming together. I was like, oh, like, his last album was so crazy. I think that Billy Woods has been and I think that's the most important part that you were saying is like all of these rappers are a testament of perseverance, and like all of my favorite rappers within that realm are Rock Marciano, rest in peace Ka, like all of these rappers had such a long journey to get to this point. It's like a nigga like Rock, like you can't. I feel like he embodied like 10,000 man hours to me. I'm like, bro, first off, to have a hairline this straight and a flow this ridiculous, you gotta put in that pain.
And you gotta put 50.
But it's just like I think that it's like it's such a. I saw Arm & Hammer at Summer Stage in 2022 or 3.
Oh, the show with Alchemist.
Alchemist, yes.
I was there too.
Okay, word. Yeah. Definitely pulled up to that. That was cool. It's always been their work always fucks with me, bro. I just be sitting there, I'd be like, dog, like I gotta step my pen up, nigga. Like this ain't like I don't know. I think what's the one song that Conductor did on Gollywag?
Fucking Star 87.
So that song is so fucking ridiculous. Yeah. What did he say? He said, I come home, the house falling down, everything boarded up in town. Everybody live in South Africa now.
Yeah.
Nah, that nigga goes so crazy. Shout out Billy. Ain't Jamaican?
Yeah, he's Jamaican.
Jamaican.
Peace. Peace to Woods and the whole Backwoods cohort. Those are my people. I was literally just with them last night at Willie Green's. Peace to Green. Congrats on the new Greenhouse Studios. But anyway, like I say all that to say that it's just like having that strong. Some people it's a visual presence. For some people it's being able to build a world that you want to exist in and having that identity. For some people it's both. And like Tyler is somebody for who it was both. Kendrick is somebody for who it's both. Cole definitely is some. I mean, all of them. Kendrick, Cole, and Drake. Like all three of them. Like you like those are people that you invest in. Like I mean, like you invest in Drake, but like so many people who listen to Drake can just be very casual. about the way they go about listening to music sometimes. So
Yeah.
like, but but I mean, like, you're still investing in some way. But
You know what?
way, like,
You know one thing that's so interesting to me?
What?
Is that as like, how do I explain it? I feel like I'm a super mega hip hop fan or music fan in general. So there's a way that I consume and go about music, right? I'd say that the average Kendrick or J. Cole fan is much more used to buying music. Like the act of purchasing music, the act of getting a vinyl or, a t-shirt with the album. Like, I think one thing that's so interesting about Drake, and maybe we'll look back at it as different or look back on it differently, is that with Apple Music and him being like this front runner of like streaming has led to like a generation of like music listeners that, they do listen to music casually in the sense of like they just download it online. Like there's no like I have a very heavy vinyl collection right now. I got that new Earl and Mike vinyl too. I got that one.
I got mine right over there.
Exactly. Like, I think it's so interesting. Like, cause it's like there's good parts about it. Like, I am an iTunes kid, iTunes cloud library. Everything is tagged meticulously. The covers are all perfect. 320 kilobytes per second. Like, so it's different with us. We really give a fuck about all those minute details. But yeah, I don't know. I just started. I thought about that because when you said the casual listening experience, I'm like, yeah, you're right. Actually, no one is like, it's not as vinyl. It's not as as everyone else. But I don't know, man. That's streaming shit, bro.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah. No, like I'm not gonna sit here and act like it was a complete wash and a complete evil. There's definitely benefits to it, but it's you can definitely tell who's just skimming through shit and like sitting down. And not to say that you can't do that if you listen to music on streaming. Like obviously, albums are albums.
Okay, so look, let's really get into it. Are you one of them niggas that add the songs you like?
Not usually, no. Like I'm so traditional. I mean, like, I have a playlist I make where I put like all my favorite stuff of the year, but like it's so rare that I go out my way to like make the version of the album I want to hear. I just skip through the tracks, or I don't even skip through the tracks. I'll just play shit, And
I to me, it's like it's blasphemous. Like when I see people like, when perfect example, when Drake drops an album and there's these people on Twitter like, oh, just listen, these are the ones I kept. You kept. We used to go on that Pirate Bay, nigga. We used to get that whole discography.
Yeah.
We upload that into the iTunes. It's like you're I think that it also ruins the way that you listen to an album. It's like Drake he's another perfect example for this. That nigga be having songs that when I hear it the first time, I'm like when I was watching that Iceman stream, there was shit that I was jumping up and down. Then there was shit I was like, and then like a month later, there's certain times where there's maybe on a track list, there's a song like track 6 and track 8 you love, but track 7 is like, eh. Then there's that one time that maybe your hands are tied and track 7 plays. Yeah. And you're like, oh, okay. I feel like I couldn't imagine any album I listen to. I can't do that. I'm like, I got to give the whole album a chance. I have to at least and also too, it's niggas be acting like it's holding up memory or some shit. What the whole album in that motherfucker? But yeah, even the Earl project, or the Earl Mike project, there were certain songs that just started growing on me so crazy, a month in or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, I just had to get that off my chest. I hate the way that people listen to music sometimes these days.
Yeah,
I'm like,
me
bro.
too.
And it's like even somebody like Tyler. You remember when Tyler was like when Igor came out, he was like, "Sit down and not have any distractions and listen to it in full." As annoying it was, like yeah, you kind of had to do that at that time, like
Yeah. Yeah,
but
like sometimes it's necessary, like you just like take it in as a full experience. But yeah, like I just like if I don't like a song, I'll just skip it or I'll just go and play another, like just whatever. I'm not the type for that. I'm also very much like I want shit to grow on me and change and evolve. But you know, we move and we adapt, and that's why we're here.
yeah,
You know.
exactly.
And to bring this full circle, because I know that we'll just go for 3 more hours if we don't stop right now. To bring this full circle, Chris, if your life was, I can't wait to hear your answer for this. If your life was a movie, what would it be about?
My life would be a mixture. It would be a mixture of like 3 movies. It would be the dynamic of picking between a straight and narrow life and going into the streets like with Bronx Tale. So this is like the dichotomy of like this kid growing up with these 2 figures in his life influencing him. But it's a biopic that goes my entire life. So like halfway through the movie, it's Boomerang.
Hmm.
So that's kind of like I'm low key like I'm like a year off from the Boomerang crib. Like, well, that nigga was just like advertising, cool nigga.
Yeah.
I think yeah. And then maybe like, what's the last part? And then like yeah, I'd probably like duke it out with some aliens at some point. So yeah, Space Jam, like Space
Yeah.
Jam, Boomerang, and Bronx.
Wow. That's yeah, like I can't visualize that mashup, but that just means at some point I got to see it. You know.
Yeah, we're it's coming soon. A24, A24. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, no, you just all you got to do now is figure out a way to get Chaz Palminteri, Grace Jones, and Wayne Knight all involved, and you're set.
I think that
Like
we have a
one
perfect lineup.
one actor from each movie. You know, I
And
always think about Grace Jones and Boomerang. That's like maybe the most that's like to me that's like one of the most that's like the most beautiful a person's ever looked in their life. Like one of those moments, like she
yeah,
looks amazing in that movie. Sorry, I just had to say that.
no,
Shout out to Grace
100%,
Jones.
bro. Mine is a Foxy Cleopatra,
Yeah,
Beyonce.
I'm a whole lot of woman. Austin Powers, yeah.
Woo! I remember the first time I saw that. That may have been the first question. That may be one of the first weeks. Goldfinger or well, yeah, Goldfinger.
Gold member.
That Gold member.
Yeah.
Goldfinger is a 007.
Yeah.
That shit is like what he said. What he said. Fuck me. What you go? Even the song, the daddy song that he did in the beginning. He played the fat nigga, and he was like, "Corn, I didn't need any corn."
Oh my
That's
god,
like
yo.
very, very impactful. But and then I have one question for you.
Yeah, please.
What's your letterboxd?
My letterbox. I'm at CineMasai. That's me.
Oh,
That's me basically everywhere. I log everything I watch basically. Any movie old, as long as I haven't seen it before, I log it. I watch a lot of movies. So
this is a very fire top 4. Bebe's Kids, man.
yeah, classic.
Bebe's Kids.
I watch that at least once a year. I love that movie. It's very, 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 very nostalgic for me. I mean, like, like the movie came out the year before I was born, but my aunt had it at her house, and me and my cousins used to watch it quite a bit. So
Yeah,
good.
classic film, man. For real, for
Yeah,
real.
man. But yeah, like Black Dynamite is the one on here. That's my favorite. That's my favorite movie of all time. I could watch
Yo,
it. I could watch it front to back as many times as I need to. I know the whole thing front to back. Love it.
okay, wait. This was made by. Wait, what is the correlation between this and what you call it? And no. It was the cartoon that was made by the people that animated Boondocks.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. I gotta watch. You know what's funny? I've never watched Black Dynamite, bro.
The movie?
I've never watched it. I don't know why.
Do that tonight. Like do that like as soon as you possibly. And it's short too. The movie's like an hour and 20 minutes. Like it'll fly by. It's such a like it's the funniest movie I've ever seen in my life. Like and just like the thing I love about it is that it's also extremely meta. Like like the whole they don't. It's a cool concept, but they don't play it up to the point where it gets annoying. But it's like every actor in the movie is playing the actor who's playing their character. It's like it's that type of vibe to it, and I love
layered.
About it. Yeah, like they were on some other shit with that one. I love Black Dynamite. Like maybe the last 10 minutes could have been better, but that other hour and 10, like 2, 3, 4 laughs a minute, fucking crazy.
Well, I'm gonna check that motherfucker out.
Do it, please. Like as soon as you can. It's one of those. But son, thank you for this, man.
Appreciate you.
Nah, man, appreciate. No, we went for a smooth, damn near 2.5 hours. I didn't even realize it.
Professional yappers.
Come on, man. That's what we're all about here.
Exactly.
Like, we don't got badges, but we don't need them because this is just who we are. But yeah, man. Like, no, just like as somebody who respects what you do a ton, and like once again, it was great to have you reach out, and like I knew this was gonna be a cool one, and we went. So yeah.
Hey, well, I'm glad it's hitting. And listen, we got to do it. We got to at least hit a movie at Metrograph or something like that. Next time we see some cool shit. Yeah,
easy, bro. Yeah, no, I got my membership. I've been trying to put it back to good use. So yeah, we're in there. That's super easy.
Yeah, that membership be going crazy. My boy got one. He don't go to the movies that much, so I'll be on his account like.
Let's go. Yeah, nah. Like the first year I did it, I got it for half off. So like getting that for $25 a year is.
Oh yeah. I just went there and watched I watched Holy Mountain for the first time. That shit was. I was like,
what a crazy movie! That movie's amazing.
Best part of the movie is the gun lady. When she's making the guns, the religious guns.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like that's one you gotta talk to somebody after you watch that movie. Like that's like that shit will really blow your brain out your nostrils. Like
I remember it was me and 2 of my friends. We went. He just left that shit there. Like we was on the Uber after. Like, did I like that? Like, I was like, bro, that shit was hard, dog. That shit was hard.
Yeah, movie's fucking crazy. Yeah, nah, I saw that on the big screen for the first time. I want to say like maybe 2-3 years ago with the homie, my man Sharif, my guy. It was Sharif, it was Boog, it was Kohai, and I think 89 was with us. Yeah, shout out to the strangers. Shout out to the boys. Yeah, I've seen it before, but it had been like 10 years. So like watch it. It was I love Holy Mountain. That's one I recommend to everybody. If you're looking
fucking legendary shit.
If you're looking to lose your fucking mind.
Exactly. Big emphasis on that.
Thanks for listening. Shout out to y'all for making it this far. And shout out to all the black people listening too, because y'all really impeccable. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell a friend to come through next time. 1.